Coming to you from Strings and Things Studio in Ventura, California, I'm Karin.
I'm Katie.
I'm Anne.
And this is the Strings Unraveled podcast.
Yee.
How's it going? How's everybody doing?
Doing all right.
How's it March already?
Because February is short.
Yeah. Whoosh. I blinked and there it went.
Yep. I know I wasn't ready for it to be March already, but I was excited yesterday because it was 1 month until my birthday. And I was like, I guess that's a good thing about March 1st.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
I have a weird question.
Okay.
Do you still really like succulents?
I enjoy succulents. I don't take care of them.
No, that's okay.
James is in charge of all of our plants, and he's the only reason any of them are alive.
It doesn't have to be something that is actually living. I just wondered if you still like succulents.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, we have 3.
Stay tuned next month for answers why I'm asking this question.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder why. I have 3 little plants that live in our room, and it's, and I buy them because they're in cute little vases or whatever. I replant them in cute little vases, and they're, I told James, I was like, I'm bringing you a new thing to take care of.
But he loves that, right?
Yeah, I saw him the other day. I was like, hey, are you taking care of my plants? He's like, yeah, I watered them today. And I was like, oh, thank you so much, because I forget that they exist. Even though they're like, they sit underneath our TV on this like entertainment center thing. And so I look at them all the time.
Nice.
I just forget that they need care. They're not fake.
One of my favorite moments that you've shared is you came to a meeting and you said that you had 1,000 new pets.
Oh,
because James had brought home a praying mantis egg.
Praying mantis eggs that all birthed themselves and then escaped into our backyard.
Oh, praying mantis into the house.
No, because he wanted to keep them in the house. He had them in like a terrarium. He's like, I'm gonna hatch praying mantises. This was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was some time ago. Yeah,
and I was like, well, that's fine, but you have to keep them outside. And he's like, why? Like, they are like a millimeter when they hatch. They're tiny. They're gonna escape.
They fit in that little egg slot.
Yeah,
because like praying mantis eggs, I love baby praying mantises. They are cute, even though they will grow to be major killers.
Yeah, terrifying.
But they like dance to music. Yeah, they're so cute.
But they are very small.
But the praying mantis egg is very triggering. I think it's tryptophobia. My dot problem.
Yeah, they're very scary.
I believe that secretly they're aliens.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They are very
heads.
like xenomorph-esque.
Yes.
I'm sure they have inspired many aliens.
Lots of I watched a lot of B movies when I was a kid, so
well, I mean, you don't even have to go to.
They're kind of the best ones.
I was say you don't even have to go to B movie because you could. I'm thinking the bugs in Starship Troopers. They sort of make me think of the aliens. A little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that.
The punchline of that story is all of the babies did escape their cage, and I was glad that they were outside because we would have had 1,000 new pets inside our house.
Oh no! Except they kill bugs.
Yeah, except that they're also bugs and they're scary and I don't like them. I don't need them. I don't know why we started talking about bugs. Oh, because James likes to take care of things.
James likes to take care of things. 1,000 at a time.
Yeah, no. We have luckily downsized our pet population in our house, so it's much more manageable.
Excellent.
Except now that there's a new kitten in our house that's not mine, it's my mom's kitten.
Oh.
And she's adorable, but I told my mom I feel like I'm babysitting sometimes because the kitten just wants to be with us because April's always with us. So she always wants to be with my cat. So she's always hanging out or like sitting outside my door like, hello, can I come in there, please? So
is April sweet with her?
They are, they're getting better.
Tolerating.
They're getting better. It was a little rocky at first with them figuring each other out, but they play together and they definitely tolerate each other, so
that's great.
It is good.
I have a pet animal story to share. It's not really my animal though. It's so my middle child and his girlfriend got a puppy.
Aww.
Not at our house.
Right.
Good, which is fine because but I guess it was time for the puppy to be spayed, and they don't do the cones anymore. They do these little baby onesies.
Oh,
they have these little onesies on them so they can move. They're not awkward with their heads. And
Doug had a cone of shame.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that way so they don't lick their stitches. They don't hurt it.
April had like an inflatable donut thing.
Yeah.
That
I've
didn't
seen
last
that.
very long.
Yeah.
But
kitten teeth aren't good with that.
He goes
No.
he goes over there because they It's like a baby to them.
Of course, it is
Like,
a baby.
It is a baby.
It's a permanent toddler. Enjoy.
And he's like, I mean, for the whole week, my son was like, well, I can't have, poor thing. I have to take care of it. Can't leave it alone. And it's like, well, it's not going to be left alone. There's a household of other people. Yeah, but I was like, yeah, you just want the puppy.
Yeah.
And that's fine. As long as you are
Puppy
also
is great.
helping pay for the puppy.
I wanted to talk Alexander into picking a kitten out for his previous girlfriend just so that we could take one of those cats home. But thankfully it did not because, that didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
I remember when James and I first started dating, I really wanted a pet tortoise.
Yeah.
And so
I'm into
I
that.
bought and adopted the tortoise, but left it in James's care as I am wont to do with other living things. So it lived at his house, and his dad was like, I didn't say you could get another pet. And James was like, it's not mine, it's Katie's. And he's like, that's bullshit.
It's at your house.
But we already owned the turtle at that time,
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
still do. So
I would say, how
Shout
did
out to
that
Spiffy.
work out?
yeah, his dad was not happy about it, but Spiffy's great. And
C'est la vie.
yeah.
When we were dating, we were at the pet store and saw the most adorable puppies, and I thought, I wish we could. And Jim's like, yes, let's get a puppy. I'm like, yeah, I can't have a puppy where I'm renting. He goes, I better ask my parents. And they're like, no. 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 They already had 2 cats who were well established. They didn't want to deal with a puppy. And just like other things in his life, like the hobbies he had ventured into, having a living hobby,
Yeah, that's
is
a little
Is
lot
that what you
different.
call your children? My living hobbies.
I had not thought of it in that manner.
I'm totally stealing that. I love
But
it.
you know what? They're still with me, so I guess it's
Every
a
decade,
good-
I'm so excited. I kept them alive for another decade.
Yeah, but what happens when the hobbies go off on their own?
Well, you find a new
Then
hobby.
you get new hobby. Then you get the puppy.
Yeah.
Then I get the puppy.
Then you get a puppy.
So, like, this is my saying about puppies and babies. Like, I love them.
Yeah.
But they're not welcome at my house.
Yeah.
I mean, they can come to my house if they're
I
leaving.
want to be
Yeah.
the grandparent of the puppy. I don't
Yeah,
want to be
exactly.
the parent of the puppy.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
puppies are a lot.
They are a lot.
They are a
See,
lot.
at the time, we never got a puppy when the kids were little because at the time I'm thinking, I'm already the primary parent for 3 kids.
You're already
Yeah.
raising human puppies.
And-
Yeah. Yep.
and my mother-in-law.
yeah.
So
Primary
we're not
parent.
adding another. I was just the idea made it was exhausting, and now I kind of wish I'd gotten a puppy because my kids are not dog kids.
Yeah.
They're cat people.
Well, that's fine.
That's good
That's
too.
fine.
Cats are great.
I didn't think I was a cat person. I thought I was a dog person.
I
I
then
don't
we
think
got
you
a
need
cat-
to categorize yourself.
But then we got a
Yeah.
cat dog.
You gotta, see, I have a dog cat.
No, Karen has a dog cat, and you have a cat dog.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Oh,
So your cat acts like a dog.
yeah.
And I have one of my 2 dogs acts a lot like a cat.
Oh, disdain, disgust,
Yeah.
like serve you.
Yeah. And like my favorite thing, because she likes me the most, but that's only still a little bit.
Yeah.
So she comes over to you, she gets what she needs from you, and then she like leaves. She's in the far off corner of the room, and you're like, "Oh, come here!" And she looks at you like,
Why would I
"Stupid
do
human." No.
See, because I regularly deny my cat comes like a puppy and begs from me.
Aww.
Which is great. We have this relationship where I am the alpha, but I'm the only one in the family that's the alpha. The cat is the alpha to everybody else, and goes full metal cat all
I think
over
a
him.
lot of animals like that, like they understand who the matriarch is more so than it's like alpha or beta.
No, it's true. The cat comes over and he looks at me like, "Can I have permission?" And I literally point my finger over to someone else. He will turn and go over there, or I'll put my hand up, and he understands. Talk to the hand, and goes away.
Aww.
It's just that because if a cat sits on my lap in the evening, I will have asthma all night long. So it's like during the day, I'm the one who brushes the cat and gives him extra loves, and to the point, all I have to say is brush, brush, and he comes running. But yeah, each one of us fulfills a different need in the cat's life.
Yeah. Doug made his rounds. He's the dope. He's the dog.
The dope?
Yeah. And he's making his rounds. He's so like outwardly loving, which we never figured out from our interaction of meeting them at the pound. Yuki was the like engaging, came up to us, interested in our family when we came up to her kennel. And Doug was hiding in the back, like totally stressed out, not interested. But he's the the lovey-dovey, goes to everybody.
See, but that really speaks to the a manner of healing that your family did for that child, for that doggy.
Sweet. See,
because for the doggy was cautious.
Oh, major trauma.
Major trauma
he
and
was Mr.
uncomfortable.
Anxious.
Oh.
But the fact that he is so lovey-dovey with you guys speaks to all the wonderful healing you brought in that doggy's life.
When I was a
Yuki's
kid,
just a sociopath.
We all need one of those.
when I was a kid, we went to the Humane Society to adopt a cat.
Mm-hmm.
We already had one, but my dad was like, "That cat doesn't like me. I want a cat that likes
Aw.
me. We're gonna go to the Humane Society and pick out a cat." Yeah. So Dad took the 3 kids to the Humane Society. We found this kitten that was very snuggly. She was very sweet. We took her home, and she was terrified of absolutely everything and everyone. She lived her life upstairs in my brother's bedroom because he was the only one that she liked and wouldn't come downstairs hardly.
Who knew?
Yeah, so they're want to, to change on you one way from, to another. So I don't think you could trust that initial reaction.
I got a question. Which would you rather live, a cat's life or a dog's life?
Oh, cat life.
Yeah.
Reals.
A dog,
I mean-
it's too much responsibility to be like excitable and lovable to be a dog.
all
Like
the time.
too much
Energy.
social expectations. I want to be a cat.
Yeah.
I could just be lazy. And then if I do, show you love and affection, then you're really gonna appreciate
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like knocking.
But you're also going to serve.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've always wanted to poop in a
am
box.
a cat inside. I am totally a cat inside.
It's the don't push the button.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have this urge that then people are like, "Oh, you psycho." So here it comes. Like sometimes I look at something perfect and I just want to ruin it. Like sand castles.
Oh yeah.
Shiny, clean cars.
Yeah.
Someone leaning over the side of something like a curb, and you just want not into the street, but off the street.
Oh my God, Karen.
No,
This escalated quickly, and it wasn't me.
not into the street,
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the sidewalk.
Yeah,
Sure. Into the soft pile of marshmallows.
But you're not
Sure.
trying. Okay. So one of our customers, I was several people. They asked me what the fabric eggs are for, and I'm like, well, they're decoration, or if you're like me, they're for
pretty.
throwing at people.
Then were they on guard?
No, because they're on their way out the door.
Oh, run fast.
Oh, there's something else I was gonna say, but whatever. Let me think. Well, talk on and it'll come back to me.
Well, we
It's
could get
time to get on with
Yeah, I was
things.
gonna say we could get into our episode.
Yeah.
Who wants to talk about what they're working on?
Well, Katie, what are you working on?
I was gonna throw Ann over and under the bus.
And what are you working on?
I asked you
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
the first
Okay.
person who calls out someone else, then they have to be the one.
1, 2, 3. I vote Ann.
Oh, sorry, I was ready. No, I can go first. I don't care.
Okay.
Nose.
You guys know nose goes,
Yeah,
right?
nose goes.
Dang, wait.
She still has a nose.
I said I would go.
I know we're having fun with this.
I am working on 3. Well, no, I'm working on 2 things. I am not working on my temperature blanket.
Oh, well, I mean, you had a good start.
Yeah, I'm
catch
about a
up.
month or so behind.
We'll check in with you
You can
on
just
your
work on it
birthday.
Yeah, I probably still won't have touched
quarterly.
it.
quarterly.
quarterly. That's a good, reasonable.
Yeah,
thing.
sure. Sounds great.
Biannually.
That's what I told myself 2 years ago.
It's been out in like out in the open so that I see it and I can work on it. I was just about to put it away yesterday. I was like, I should shove this in a closet. And if I do, that'll be the end of it. But
Remind me what is the medium that your temperature blanket is? Sewing, crochet,
It's
knitting?
crochet.
Okay.
I am working on my 3rd Rainbow in the Storm sweater.
That's unlike you to do repeats, so it's got to be a really good pattern.
The first one I made probably in 2020, I don't remember, a few years ago. And I wear it a lot. And then I made a second one for my niece, so like the little kid one. And then I started this one pretty soon after I had finished the first one, but I put it away because, at the time it wasn't fun to work on because I had just finished one. But I was wearing sweaters more often, like in the last few weeks because it's been cold. And I wore my Rainbow in the Storm a couple times and I was like, oh, I should dig that project out. And all I had to do was like finish a little bit on the back, do the neck, and the sleeves. So I am currently on my second sleeve, and then it will be done. I did the neckline, I did the first sleeve. I was really hoping to have it in the list of finished things tonight, but I underestimated the amount of time it would take me to do one of the sleeves. So
I also had sleeve timing errors.
And a lot of times I can get, if I buckle down, I could get a sleeve done in a day. But this is 1 by 1 rib, and so it's more condensed. There's more stitches. It just took longer.
Yep.
So I didn't finish it. So I'm working on the second sleeve of my third Rainbow in the Storm. And this one is not necessarily a rainbow. It's more like I just kind of faded some colors. So it's all stash.
I like it.
I love it.
Stuff.
That cool.
I love the
pool
big
of
print.
gray. It looks like a little moon at the
At
top.
the very, very top.
Oh yeah, that was some weird pooling that happened on the... It didn't happen on the front because they're short rows, so it's a little more blendy.
But on
But
the
yeah.
back shoulder, you've got it on the far shoulder.
Yeah.
It's cool,
There's
though.
some weird browny gray thing going on, but
It's like a moon.
yeah, I don't mind it.
Moon and moon phases, because it's half on either side.
There you go.
There you go.
And I'm
That's
actually
cool.
doing this one, the sleeve on this one correctly, because the original pattern, the sleeves were like way too long. So you're supposed to do the last 2 inches on like a much smaller needle. Like I did the whole sleeve on a 10 and you finish the sleeve on a 7. I got to the length already and hadn't switched needle sizes on my first one, so I just finished. But this one has the smaller needle at the cuff that makes it a little more...
Looks nice.
Yeah, a little neater.
Yep.
So I did that. And I don't think I had done the neckline you're supposed to also do on the smaller needle. I don't think I did that on the first one I made either. I don't remember doing it, but whatever. So I'm doing this one more of the proper way that the pattern says to. So I have a sleeve left on that. And I'm also working on Halu, which is this sweater. I was working on it last month too. I'm teaching it as a class.
They're coming along really nicely, too.
Yeah,
It's
all my
fun
students are
helping
doing
them.
great. I'm past the lace. I have separated my sleeves,
Ooh.
and I'm working on the boring part of the body. But I'm very happy with it. This
I
is
love
my
that color.
nighttime knitting because it's just round and round in circles.
Such a beautiful ochre.
Yeah, I like this color too. One of my students was like, "What yarn is that? And what color did you buy?" And then she told me today, she was like, "I think I'm going to buy some of that yarn." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And she's like, "And I think I want to make another Halu." And I was like, "Okay, we can be twinsies." That's fine.
Yeah, but that's what's great, is she loves it so much, she wants to make another one.
Yeah, it's
Means you're a great
she
teacher.
said she wanted to make another one, but without the baubles because she didn't enjoy it, and I was like, okay, that's fine. So those are the 2 things that I am working on, and the one that I am not working on. I'm adding it to my list.
Karin, what are you working on?
I am frantically trying to finish up this test knit. She extended it because most of us needed just a little bit more time. It is a test knit called Pockets Full, and by the time this comes out, the pattern will be released
Nice.
by Tina Say. It's Tina Say Knits. TS. I'll have to look it up. But it's really, really, really smart construction. It's all one piece, but it's top down, bottom up, and back down again.
Mm-hmm.
Up, down, up, down. And so it's been really fun to this was a really fun test knit because there was a lot of us that were interactive and giving feedback. Sometimes you're involved in a test knit and it's like you're the only one of only 2 people out of a big group, and you think, what does the matter with the other people? You're supposed to be giving feedback. If something works, great. If it's not, so this was a really nice kind of, you got a community feel for it. I used all kinds of mini skeins and other stash balls from. I can't think of what the name is. I don't have my labels with me. I know that all the little mini skeins were from. Dang it.
Somewhere.
Anyway, I'll get back to that one. I have it's DK weight, or I paired 2 fingerings. And one of the fingerings is a single ply in this beautiful color called Sunday Mimosa, and it's kind of this creamsicle color.
Yeah.
That's the best thing I could think of. It's kind of this pale orangey, yellowy, citrusy, but it's just happy sunshine. And it's a single ply in a yarn called Foxy Lady by it's a newer yarn from Farmer's Daughter Fibers.
You know what? You should probably like carry that a swatch of that around if you are a mimosa drinker.
Oh yeah,
Because it's much more to the champagne color than to the orange color.
Yes.
Well,
so I would
but
just
if
like
you-
you can swatch your
depends on-
coffee, you know? I
Yeah,
want
but
to
it-
swatch the
Yeah,
this yarn.
I want
and I
a
want
drop.
that mix of orange juice to
it
champagne.
has some champagne, but then you can see it's some shading of a little more, not quite peach.
That's
but
probably
not
the
quite,
pulp
It's the pulp, yeah.
Yeah.
from this fresh squeezed orange juice
But
that you
mo-
walked
most-
by my champagne.
Yeah, I
But-
want an eyedrop or drip of orange juice in my champagne.
Because it's
It's
paired.
gorgeous.
So this way, no matter what other color I pair with it, it has this continuity throughout the whole thing. I was afraid of getting big color blocks in it. The other was, it's gonna bug me, not Teal Torch Net. It's not. This was the from a whole collection of Gilmore Girls.
I don't know.
Oh well, I'll find it, and we'll put it in the notes. I'll figure it out.
I remember you
Anyway.
talking about it, but I can't
Oh,
remember
yeah.
who did it.
So what I did is I had whole skeins that I wound and then I broke into fourths. And then I had a pack of mini skeins. So all the back is almost all like mini skeins, just kind of mixed up.
Nice.
You were talking about
It's a sweater? Sorry. I didn't-
yeah, it's a sweater. It's kind of heavy and in my lap, and it's like as as you're going down the back, you're going back and forth, and you're attaching it. Once you get past the armhole, then you are attaching it to the sides
Mhm.
as you go along. So that by the time you get to the bottom, you're done.
Nice.
And then you will pick up. I will me.
Mhm.
I will pick up around the armholes and go down. The only thing that I thought was interesting is she just says go to desired armhole depth, and I said, well, okay, most people. And
Yeah,
there's nothing
I'm going to
in-
need some guidance.
Yeah. I said, if I was teaching this, most people don't know what that means. They don't know what their desired armhole depth is, and
Yeah.
they're not going to think to try it on, though you perfectly could, sort of. Except I think, have you ever put on like a cardigan? When you first put it on, you have to adjust it on your shoulders. So if you were trying to go by armhole depth and you didn't adjust that along the fronts before you go to the, along the back, it would just be awkward. But the sleeves don't have any shaping. You just pick them up and go in a tube. So I had noticed that, and I had suggested, and we'll see what happens, that she just make a note that desired armhole depth, or if you need guidance, the armhole depth matches the depth of the sleeves.
The armhole.
Yeah, that's
depth.
probably just a good note no matter what. So
Yeah.
that people know.
Yeah.
It kind of startles people when there's no armhole shaping. I like it. I like it a lot.
It's a very full sleeve, and I think it won't be the thing that I knit with because it'll be way too big, and I won't be able to push up my sleeves because they won't stay up because they're too
to wear
loose.
it.
Yeah. Hey, before we move on, you were talking about like works in progress and the thing you finish and the thing you don't finish, and we've all talked about having startitis sometimes.
It's 'tis the season because spring is usually that
Oh
time.
yeah. Do you guys follow Making Magazine's Instagram? It's making_co. Well, they have this meme, and it says my latest work in progress to the project I just started, and it has this very bitter looking woman on the phone going, "Well, I hope you're very happy." And I hope she I hope she knows you only liked the beginnings of things.
Do you tell you? Does she tell you? I want to do Alanis Morissette now. That's very good.
So, yeah.
You hold me until you died. That's the vibe I'm getting from Lemmy.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, you lied.
Well, Anne, what are you working on?
I am working on things that I started like 2 years ago.
Oh, great.
I'm really
Me
pleased.
too.
I'm really proud of myself because I did a real good effort on the 2023 Fiberwary, which
Yes.
is a annual prompts. I think her screen name is Creative CC.
Yeah.
And she, for many years now, and I've been participating, I think I went back to 2019, maybe 2018. And some years I've done it every day, but the last few years I have not.
Mm-hmm.
But I got closer this time. And she says, just participate to your to what you can. Yeah, Creative CC, which is creative, and CECI. Very cool lady. And this labor of love of Fiberwary is always really fun. And the hashtag is Fiberwary Challenge that's recommended. So that got me looking at things that I had started over the last few years. And I am working on a stripes sweater that is in the classic. I've made 2 stripes sweaters already that were like more regular stripe, like light background, dark background.
Yeah.
And then one is just very like, which I'll talk about later. But this is the scraps, or the like great variety changing. I have more changes actually. I think she only uses 13 yarns, and I have.
This is the stripes sweater pattern.
Yeah,
by
stripes
Andrea Mowry.
sweaters by Andrea Mowry. I have like 18.
Nice.
So I'm all done with the body, and it fits beautifully because I already know
You've
the
already made a
dimensions
few.
that it should do, and I'm like tickled pink by how this looks.
Beautiful.
And it's fun because some of these yarns are gonna like be in 3 or 4 sweaters already.
Yeah.
Like this purple is gonna end up having been in 4 sweaters at least. I think I'm still gonna have 50 grams done left over for another sweater that it's participating in. So it could be in a 5th sweater. So it's fun. It's like a memory quilt kind of, that you like see these scraps of fabric, this time yarn, and think about the other things that they're in.
Are they all the same yarn? Because they're so smooth. The texture is so smooth. Like they're all the same texture.
Nope. They're all worsted to sport-ish.
Oh.
Are you
So I like to push the envelope a little bit.
Are you gonna match the stripes
Yes.
in the body to the sleeves?
Yes.
Nice.
So the sleeves need to be 4 stripes longer. So there's going to be 4 additional colors that come in.
But then you'll jump into the colors.
And then everything's going to match up.
Cool.
And then I'm working on, I think the girl's screen name is Mo Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
I've made at least one of her sweaters before. This one's called Sanguine.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I
And
love that pattern.
I definitely
So
customize
pretty.
some things. So I like her concepts, but I often find myself kind of tailoring it a little bit. Like I added short rows in a way that suited me.
I think she's, or was, a relatively like green designer when she started.
Yeah.
Or obviously when she
It's
started.
definitely like
when this sweater was.
when this pattern came out. Which is
It's
already
gorgeous.
2 years old. Thank you. And so you can see that this red and this blue, all of these yarns
Yeah,
are
those
in
look
the other
familiar.
sweater.
I love the like Neapolitan-ness going on at the bottom.
Yes.
This yarn is so fun to me because like here it totally reads to me like cherries and cream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But like over in the stripes, it's very peachy.
Yeah.
And then I originally bought it to go in Durumi, I think it's called, which I did in that purple that's appearing in many sweaters, and a dark blackberry color almost. It's such a rich purple, and then the pink, this peachy pink, was little triangles that appear in the middle of the yoke. Durumi is a pom-pom pattern from a long time ago, but it was one of their cover patterns.
You're making me
I
think
love-
about that striped sweater. I have sport weight yarn that I'm like, what the heck am I going to do with this yarn?
Do this sweater.
Okay.
It's so fun. I am probably, this is definitely my second to last. It might be the last, but I still have in my mind, well, that's not true. I still have in my mind, I want to do a thin black and white stripes one. So that, and I know I have the yarn already, so that's going to be down the road, I think. And then I have my red and white flag inspired when I was doing.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I have reconceived. I paused because when I was describing how I was going to do the star part on the sleeves, my son was like, "That sounds like armbands, Mom. You got to be careful about armbands, Mom."
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
yeah, I don't want it to read as anything except fun and patriotic.
Yeah, you're not trying to make a
Not
statement here.
nationalist,
No.
but patriotic. So I've reconceived what I'm going to do with the sleeves, and I've got to play with that still.
Interesting.
So I guess there's 2 more stripes in my future. So I can't think of anything that'll be 5.
That's awesome.
There's one other sweater that I will eventually have 5 of.
Yeah.
Which is my Scrapper Cardi.
Nice.
Which I love that pattern so much. And then I have made a promise to myself that I'm riding a wave of finishing, which is unusual this time of year. This is Startitis time.
I'm kind of feeling the same way. I'm like, I should just go with it.
Yeah. So I had made a promise to myself that I can start thinking about one new thing per 2 things that get finished,
Nice.
which was something my husband had suggested a long time ago, and I showed him some gestures.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't have to. It has to be your idea.
Yeah.
No, nobody else's.
and
Mind your
suggested
business.
that he take that idea and
Like,
stuff it, you know,
don't
where.
tell me how I tell me how I should craft. Come on.
So because I am so happy about moving forward, like I'm very excited to make the sleeves on both these sweaters. That's where both this stripes and the sanguine are. It's time for sleeves.
Nice.
But I've been kind of obsessed with a vest that one of our knitters is making. It's a cabled vest. I think she's come on your day.
Oh yeah.
It's Thea Coleman's Ghost in the Orchard.
Yeah, that's a cool pattern.
And she's doing it in gray, just like the pattern. She's looking forward to wearing it exactly as styled in the pattern. A white button down with a
Very classy.
with this lovely gray yarn she's got. So I every time she's working on it and it's going so well, I'm so impressed with how it's progressing. I keep thinking I want to make one. And it's 16 stitches to 4 inches, which I've gotten away from stashing that heavy of yarn. But a few years ago, when Tuesday's morning was still getting yarn instead of just straight up closing.
Yeah, are they?
They are fully closing.
Okay, because I saw that they had like a sale, like a
It's
store-wide
lame.
sale.
It's 10 and 20% off.
Oh, okay. I almost went in there this afternoon, so I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah. I had 9 skeins of Miski, 4 in a color they called Wasabi,
Nice.
and 5.
Oh, really? That's like oregano to me.
You know, it looks so much lighter to me until I'll show you when it changed in my mind's eye. It felt like a pretty like light mossy green.
Yeah.
And then the other color is I have 5 of this
That
brown.
red brown.
It's like a really rich chestnutty
Beautiful.
dark
It's got
brown.
a glow to it.
And they call this one Mississippi.
One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
So I was short by 2 skeins. I'm like, this is so close to perfect. And I've been holding this yarn that I probably shouldn't have bought to start with, but it was Miski for $6 a skein.
Yeah.
And that's, if you don't know this yarn, it's a Mirasol yarn that they have discontinued. But it's 100% extra fine baby alpaca. That was already a well-priced yarn.
Yeah.
I think it was $12 or $13 when it hit the yarn shelves. So I just needed 2 more.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't find this color anywhere because it's been discontinued for a while.
Yeah.
So I found a yarn shop on Etsy that had quite a bit of Miski in stock. And so I got this green that's one of their original colors. Like these, I think, are newer colors just as they were discontinuing the yarn. So I'm color blocking. I already thought I would color block it. So I'm color blocking with the darker green Wasabi with this Vert, color 112. And then Mississippi's going to be
I love that.
So I'm really happy with it. I think it's going to work out perfectly. Like I've been through one ball and I know how far one ball will go. So it's going to just be perfect.
That's awesome.
Which is interesting. I haven't made any of Thea Coleman's patterns. I've just always admired people
As soon
working
as
on
she
them.
said, I saw those baby cocktails. I'm like, oh, I've done several baby cocktails.
Yeah, I have. I've
And
always admired them, and I think they're very cute.
well written, very well thought out.
Well, I think she might nail her yardage too.
Yeah.
Because
Nice.
I have 902 yards, and the size I'm making a 54 because they said 5 inches of ease. It is like 2 yards off, and I think it's going to work out perfectly,
Great.
which I like. I like ending with just the right amount of yarn.
That does feel good.
Yeah.
I saw an Instagram reel today, and it was somebody like showing how to wind up leftover yarn into like a scrappy cake of yarn, like what to do with your leftovers. And one of the comments was like, "Am I the only person that knits up all their yarn in a project so there's none left over?" And I'm like, "How do you do that?"
I have done some like wacky math to make that happen because I don't want to buy one extra ball.
I don't
It
either,
all
but then I
depends on
don't
the
want to
size.
panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm much more apt to play some yarn chicken, but I don't enjoy it when I'm doing it, and then
Yeah.
I usually am mad at myself. But
I've done some crazy math of like making a swatch, weighing the swatch, figuring out the square inches.
Yeah.
In my dotage, I have not done that in a long time.
I love math, but that kind makes my head hurt.
It's like when you...
It sucks my fun out if I have to think about it.
No, to me, that's a little bit of the like sport. I haven't done it in a long time.
Give me a spreadsheet like for designing, and that's one thing, but I just want to, this is where I just want to wing it. I just want to let it fly. And if but checking during the process is good. So you don't, there's nothing worse than getting to the bind off.
Yeah.
And running out.
So, I did give myself the gift of starting that because I'd been like, because this lady's been working on it for a couple weeks, and every time I touch it, I like want to start.
Yeah.
And so this yarn came on, I think Monday, and so I couldn't like wait anymore.
Yeah. And it's mostly stash.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mostly stash. Yeah. Because really, this was languishing. I keep thinking I was just going to make a big triangle scarf, which I probably wouldn't wear that much.
You're going to enjoy this so
but
much
I will
more.
wear this vest a ton at work.
Yeah.
So
I never think about like making vests or wearing vests, but I like the idea of it, and I see people who are styling them, and it's very cute. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, it's a sweater where I don't have to knit the sleeves.
Yes.
Why don't I make one?
I know.
Yeah. I've knit vests for James.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've never made, well, I think I've made one for myself and I gave it away.
I
a
haven't
long,
made one
long
in
time
a
ago.
long time. I
have a vest pattern.
Like
that
a
I
real
need to-
sicko, I was looking at the schematic thinking it'd be so easy to add sleeves to this.
Don't do it, Anne.
Because
I mean,
it's
do
a
it if you want to.
Right,
but
right. It's a very like pretty cable sweater.
It's called Ghost in the Orchard.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Yeah, it's beautiful.
it would be fun to also have a sweatery sweater one. But
Maybe that a vest is a good way to do like I want to make like a full like fisherman Aran cabled sweater,
Yes.
but I also don't because that's a lot of work.
yes.
So maybe
yeah.
a vest is a good idea.
Yeah. And there's a ton because like I realize my obsession with this is just that I'm hot to make cables. I'm
Sure.
very hot for cables for the last like 6 months. I haven't
Cables
really
have
like
been really popular lately.
I haven't really produced anything with that, lust, but this is the first thing I'm like cast on and
That's
ready
great.
to go for. And there's a ton of cute vests, even if it's not this one. Because I wasn't sure about this one color blocked, but I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of an ornate cable, but there's a lot of double seed stitch and stuff.
Yeah.
So
this sort of are you done with what you're working on?
This is what I am working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt
you.
you.
No, I'm good.
It transitions well into one of the things that I have in my finished pile where I had a certain amount of yarn that I got from the stash swap.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this will be, I don't know why I thought it would be enough to make this sweater. And, but I had a couple other colors, like balls of this yarn in different colors. And I was like, well, I'll just do like the ribbing and I'll do some striping or whatever. But I decided that I didn't want to do that. I wanted a solid color. So I had to go and buy more of it and hope that it looked like it matched, which it did. I think it was a different colorway. So the sweater I made, hold on, let me dig it out of my bag, is Felix.
So we have transitioned to what have you finished?
Yes.
Which
I
is the
finished
most exciting part.
a Felix cardigan.
Ooh.
Which I
I love that.
What yarn is it?
I
It's
love
fabulous.
the increases.
This is Blue Sky Wool Stock Worsted, which there was maybe 7 balls of it. I can't remember. I
that was a
meaning to
stash
weigh it.
project?
It was a stash
Perfect.
swap
I
yarn.
want to touch it.
Oh
yeah.
And there was like a big bag of this wool stock yarn.
That's perfectly like soft and durable.
It is.
Yes.
It absolutely is.
And it's a
Lovely.
worsted weight yarn, but I knitted on a size 10. I think it's 14 stitches per inch or 14 over 4. Because I was like, what am I going to do with this yarn? I went on Ravelry and I was like, oh, a bunch of people have made this sweater that I have always wanted to make out of this yarn. I'll do that. When I went back to look later, the majority of people that have used this yarn have held it with a mohair or a silk or something else.
Oh, it kind of it
But-
doesn't need it.
For our climate, it's very lightweight and
Yeah.
I love it.
You could wear the heck out of that.
Yes. So that's why this is the one where I was like, well, I don't really want a contrasting thing because it's got like some lacy increased
Right.
details. And also I want a plain sweater that I can wear all the time.
Yep.
So I loved every minute of making this pattern.
Aw.
It's Felix by Amy Christophers, I think.
That sounds right.
And she also has a Felix pullover.
Ooh.
But I've been in the mood to make more cardigans because
Yeah.
I make a lot of pullovers, but I wear more cardigans,
Yep.
you know?
Mhm.
So I loved it. I want to make another one. I was trying to figure out how to do it without the lacy increases so that I could use up all of the other wool stock worsted that I still have in every other color. But it took me like 2 weeks to knit. It was great. It uses a tubular
Wow.
bind off for
Ooh, I
everything,
love
which
it.
is really nice. Yeah, this is like 10 out of
It's
10.
gorgeous.
I love it.
Gorgeous.
Love it, love it.
I have a crop of new beginning knitters who are rock stars.
Yeah.
And because I've been working on my sweaters, so that's what I like had out to show them.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, "How long does it take you?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, sometimes the sweater takes 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a month. Sometimes it takes several years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started this sweater 2 years ago.
This was the only thing that I knit for those 2 weeks, so
Right.
I was able to do it.
Yeah.
And it goes very quickly because it's at a large gauge, right? So I ran out of yarn at some point of the stash swap amount that I had. So I went online and I found somewhere online that had more of this colorway, which is I used it for like the edgings in the bottom and I made it work. I
Perfect.
can't tell.
Nope.
So I bought 2 more balls from them and then I knitted on, and then I was like, I still think I'm going to run out of yarn. So
Oh,
I
no.
went back because they said they had one more left. So I was like, I'm going to grab their last one. I bought it. I got an email from them that was like, actually, our inventory was off. We don't have that extra ball of yarn.
Oh, no.
And I was like, well, crud. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just see what happens. I have like half a ball of yarn left. I was just panicked.
All right.
I thought that
That's
the
when you get
edgings.
the scale out.
Yeah, but I just had like the button bands and the neckline and
Yeah.
stuff like that I assumed were going to take more yarn than they did.
That's what's making me nervous over here. Is
Yeah.
like I know how many now that I've used up one, I know how many inches I can get out of one ball.
Yeah.
But there's a V-neck and there's 2 armholes to
Mhm.
edge. But I still think it's going to be fine.
Yeah, in my experience, it took way less yarn than I assumed that it was going to.
This time.
Yes, this time, right? But I had half a ball left over, so
Nice.
that's good. I have finished. I've got a lot of things to talk about
Oh,
today.
good. I'm excited.
I want to go back to the sweater. So this is my 3rd sweater that I finished in 2023.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
3 in 3 months.
3 in 3 months.
impressed.
So remember back in 2020 when I was going to make 12 sweaters in 2020? I don't want to like speak it into the universe
You
because
don't
I
have
haven't
to.
really decided, but it would be cool if I could make 12 sweaters this year.
It sure would
and
be
so
cool.
far, it's March 1st, or it's March 2nd when we are recording this, and I have 3 done and almost a sleeve left of a 4th one.
So
So
you got a good buffer.
I'm doing
You know.
well.
Yeah,
I'm very
I'm
happy.
impressed.
And I want to make another one of these Felix sweaters. I
It's
want to
real
make the
cute.
pullover. I want to find a similar pattern to this, but with a V-neck, because like the flapping open of the top cardigan
Is a little annoying,
yeah,
yeah.
because I'll wear it to work. It's cold in the morning, but it's a little annoying if it's not buttoned. So I'm very into cardigans right now. I have one planned that I have bought yarn for that apparently is coming from Germany, which I didn't necessarily realize. So I've been like checking my tracking. I'm like, where's my yarn? I want to start this sweater. I finished 2 quilts this month.
Ooh.
One that was almost finished. I talked about it last month, which is Dog Pile, which is the baby blanket that I had the top almost done, but it is finished and quilted now.
Oh, I want to see what quilting you
Awesome.
chose.
I did a simple meander.
Very cute.
So there's my finished puppy.
That's adorable. When that
Oh, it's
gets
a beautiful
washed,
meander.
that is going to
It
look
was washed.
even
I can
cuter.
tell it's washed.
Yeah, it is. That's all the crinkle.
Nice.
And then I have.
Which is perfect actually with dogs because it gives them texture.
Yeah, they're kind of like puggish looking dogs, so they're a little wrinkly, which I think is fine. And it's a nice, generous sized baby blanket. I think it's
Yeah.
like 48 inches or something.
I love the color changing border.
Yeah, I love that. It's the 4 colors of their 4 collars. And then you add in this is a pattern by Pen and Paper Patterns. And she has a cat version, and each of the cats, instead of a bone, has a ball of yarn. I really want to make it just for me.
The
Well, then you
background
should.
color is really pretty because it's like a pale mint,
Yeah, it's called, Desert Green, I think is the name of this color.
like a pale sage.
Yeah, I used the exact colors that the pattern called for of Kona
Super
solids, except for one of the browns we didn't have, so I swapped it out for a different one. But I'm very, very happy with it. I'm very excited to give it to the family that is going to have a baby.
Nice.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it to their baby shower or not, so I don't know when I'm giving it to them, but I love this. I love this quilt. I think it is so cute, and I had such a good time making it too. I want to make another one. And then I made a sample of the Ruby Star Society Spring Sew-Along project for Super Buzzy. The Ruby Star Society has a free pattern for a quilt. It's called the Swatch quilt. It's very simple, rectangles, and it's made with some of their woven, like yarn-dyed fabrics, which were very fun to work with and very soft and very, like, it made such a snuggly quilt that I really wanted. It's hanging up at Super Buzzy right now, so if you wanted to go look at it, you could, but I didn't want to give it up because it was very nice. And we made 2 different colorways for this project. There's one from the Ruby Star Society that they are like advertising.
Oh, I like that.
And then we came up with 2 other colorway options. So this is the one that I came up with. I don't have it with me. I just have the picture.
Oh, that's pretty.
So it's sort of pinky,
A little bit
browny,
chocolates.
Warm.
yeah, lots of warm colors. There's some like caramely browns in it. And then there's a close-up of some of the different fabrics so you can see some of the texture and stuff.
Very pretty.
I loved the way it turned out. It's very soft, very snuggly, very easy.
Their fabric feels great.
It feels wonderful. A lot of these are like garment weight fabric, so they're like shirtings and very light, very almost gauzy, like very snuggly weight fabrics. And that was fun and quick. So there's that. And then the last thing I finished is different because this is not something that I have any experience with, which is macrame.
Ooh.
I found a pattern on Instagram, just, scrolling around on my like Discover page for a hat hanger, a baseball cap holder is what it's called. So, and James has a lot of hats and they're all over the place. So I saw it and I was like, I need to make that. So this is my baseball cap holder.
Neat. Oh, that's really clever.
It's like a rectangle strip of like background with these little straps, and so the hats go in they fit into the little holders. The pattern is from Better Days Macrame. I found it on Instagram. There's a picture of it full of hats.
Very cute.
Very clever.
Yeah, I am a little bummed because their fringe in the picture is so much longer that I don't know if I didn't knot it tight enough, but I ran out of length of my macrame cords.
Oh.
So my fringe is a little sad.
Well,
But, it finished it. It's fine.
I'm sure gauge is important in macrame.
Yeah, and I've never macrameed really except for when I
No.
was a child
It
making
looks
bracelets.
great.
So I
Yep.
was like, well, I'm just going to do what the pattern says, and it was fine.
Yep.
I used the macrame cord. I don't know if that's what you call it. Rope?
Sure.
I don't know. That the pattern calls for, that I bought from the Lark's Head shop on... I think they hit from their website. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about macrame. This was a very
neither.
easy beginner project, I think. So I am happy with that. It took longer than I thought it was going to. I was like, oh yeah, I'll do this over the weekend or something.
I'm
And
always surprised that macrame takes so much longer.
it took,
Yeah.
But I think how long? Not. But it takes a while. Oh, sorry.
yeah, it definitely took longer than I thought it was going to. But it's like a dusty pink color that I chose to match my bedroom. I have sort of like accents in that color. And it looks a whole lot better than just hats laying all over the place because James has a lot of them. And it's like, this is not enough to hold the 30 hats that he has, but it's enough to hold the ones that he is currently wearing.
Current rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit better hanging on my wall. So those are the 4 things that I finished in February, which I think is pretty good considering it's the shortest month of the year.
Yeah. Very good.
Anne?
Oh, it's me? I
It's
thought it was
you.
Karen.
I think it's you.
It's you. Okay. That's fine. I'm happy to share what I finished. All right.
Oh, no, it isn't. It is Karen.
Well,
you
it
went
is
last.
Karen. Yeah. Anyway.
Karen, what did you finish?
I
What will the
finished-
listeners think?
I finished 2 crochet things and a cooking thing.
Ooh.
So, where's my other bag? It's right beside. Oh, right beside me. Duh. Okay, so I made this really long crocheted scarf that is worked. I think we talked about it before. The divine scarf.
Mhm.
I was working on it. I got it finished up. It's nice and wide. It's really long because the designer is tall. So it's great if you're a tall person, but you could also, which is why I opted not to do fringe because I'm not super tall. And it's plenty wide, and Anyway, I used a mixture of 2 different kinds of Noro. There's one that's really heathered, and that is the Kissy. I got it super fuzzy.
Oh, I don't know.
And then there's one that it's not Tayo, it's some other thing. It's a chunky, self-striping
something with a K. Curious? No, that's Furosode is what I'm trying to say.
Furosode.
It is Furosode?
It's F.
Okay.
It starts with an F, not a K.
Well, there's another one is thick, but it has like a lot of mohair, but I think it starts with a K.
Yeah,
But
I
doesn't,
don't
doesn't
remember.
matter.
Something like yeah, I can't even.
Doesn't
not
matter.
Even not even gonna try
Furosode.
it. So, and this is an upcoming class, and I like the idea of not having the whole thing self-stripy.
Mm-hmm.
You have this place of heather and this little narrow bit where the colors change. And
Yeah, and it pops.
the thing about Noro is there's never really a repeat. You know, the way it is, so each color sort of kind of blends and becomes something else. So anyway, so there's the Divine Scarf by
Nice.
Latoya Durant.
Gorgeous.
And then also by Latoya Durant, because I just really like supporting her stuff. I did the Exo Cowl.
Oh,
And
that's
we-
so
and
cute.
we
You did a
talked
little
about it. It's
reel
very
about that,
springy.
huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's very
It looks like
Eastery.
Easter eggs.
It's very
Mhm.
It's
Eastery.
gorgeous.
It's mixed with, it's one of those where you mix a fingering with, this is a Surrey alpaca. Although this one in my hand feels more like a mohair. This might be a mohair blend because it feels more mohair-like. And yeah, so if you can feel the difference. There's that one and that one.
Oh, the pink is very soft.
The pink is the pink. These are all of these are by Teal Torch Knits, and I think they're both Surrey alpaca, but one is more two of the 3 colors are more tonal, and the third one has more colors blended in speckles, in more of a speckle. But I want to blend it. It's very interesting how, you know, here I with one of them I paired the solid of our yarn, but it
The
looks very
fingering weight,
different
yeah.
when you add the halo of a
Mhm.
fuzzy yarn to it.
It
So-
looks like it just is a yellow yarn.
Yeah.
With pops of gold and,
Yeah. So I
and
kind of
teal.
want to do a little swatch. I'll do a little reel about
Yeah, it'd be
with one
interesting to see
with the different
all
colors,
all 3 of those
but with
colors
one
with
base.
that. Yeah.
Rather, whereas because in the scarf, I use a different base for each color, so
Yeah.
it's not quite the same. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, you'd get like a little more cohesion if you just swapped out the accent color with the same background color.
And it'd be
right?
fun
And
to
it would-
see what the background
Well,
color
that's the
does.
thing. It's like if you were looking through, if you have like color lenses
Mhm.
and how the world changes hue. I mean, how you view the world or with the things you notice depends on the color
Yeah.
lens. So it would
That's
be
what they're saying about the color wheel right now. Like
Hmm.
I heard a color theorist say that like our color theory and perception might be skewed because the guy who developed it was looking at these color combinations with yellow light.
Oh,
Oh
that
yeah.
makes a difference.
And
Yeah.
so, because like in color printing, you know, it's
Yeah.
cyan, it's magenta, it's a very like clean, cool yellow.
Mhm.
And that's not what we create the color
Right.
wheel with. Like I
Right.
got in trouble in my 2D design class in college because I knew that you don't get that pretty. You don't get a pretty purple with red and
Right.
blue. You
Red,
get a
blue,
pretty
and
purple with
yellow.
magenta and
Ah.
cyan.
Yeah.
And you get a pretty orange with magenta and yellow. So I did that for my mixes, but I represented the red with red and I represented the blue with blue. And she's like, how did you do this? Did you just buy purple paint? Did you just buy orange paint? I'm like, no, I grew up in a print shop and I know that you're not going to get true colors that way. So that,
You taught your teacher something.
no, I don't think I taught her anything. We didn't get along. She was trying to say that I was cheating. But that the different light filter, we might have totally screwed up color theory all this time.
How many of us go by color theory, and how many of us
Oh,
go
by
by
gut.
How many of
Yeah.
us go, ooh, that's pretty?
Yeah.
I go more by pretty. I don't care with a.
Well, color theory has never made sense to me. And I wonder if that's the thing, is like, it's wrong.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or it's skewed because of
Right.
the light it was viewed through.
Okay. So then I did finish something else because I'm always making something different. But this one's a food.
All right. I sense a taste test in our
A
future.
taste test, yes.
All right. Well, I've been dying to try this.
It's been in there.
I know,
So-
but like, you know.
I made.
Do you remember everything you were thinking about 10 minutes ago?
What?
I don't remember
Who-
anything I was
what?
thinking about 10 seconds ago.
What happened 10 seconds
Usually
ago?
I'm driving home and we're like, oh, I think that was in the fridge.
So I made. Oh, I can already smell it. It smells so good.
It's definitely smelling the fridge in the.
Oh, I don't even smell it when I
Oh, I
open the
didn't
fridge.
notice.
I'm so
I
used
did.
to it.
Yeah.
I'm so accustomed
it was
to.
also flavoring something that I had in there. I was like, this tastes like kimchi.
Oh, now I smell it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would
Which
want-
thankfully is not an offensive taste for
No,
you.
I mean it is in a cinnamon roll. But I had these little mini cinnamon rolls in the fridge, and I opened the fridge and I was like, it smells like kimchi in here. And then I ate one, and I was like, this is
I
kinda
ate one of those
kimchi.
later.
I
and
don't know
was
if it
good.
really flavored it or if because you smelled it,
Yeah.
it got stuck in your.
No, I
Because
ate,
there's
one,
a sense of
I ate
smell
the
and
last
taste.
one of the cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
It did not taste like kimchi.
That
at
was
all.
a second batch of cinnamon rolls
Oh,
because I thought maybe my students wouldn't want kimchi flavored cinnamon rolls.
fair enough. Okay, I'm ready to try this kimchi.
Okay. So this is daikon radish kimchi. It's daikon and it has apples, Asian apples and some pears and everything in there. So I brought a fork out.
I appreciate it. I will skip because I'm still enjoying my coffee and I don't think that my flavors
Kimchi
will melt.
kimchi coffee
but
is
I will,
not a good
I
thing.
will definitely taste it.
Okay.
They are chewing. Anne is thinking. She looks very pensive.
I love the texture.
Mm.
It's very spicy.
As kimchi is.
Some kimchi is.
Yeah. It's very good. And it's not offensively spicy. Like
It's not
I still want to taste all the flavors. And I think I taste all the flavors. It's very good.
See,
Is that
now-
still mine?
This is still yours. To
Okay.
take home. Don't be giving that out anymore. So maybe before you go home, take a bite because it's going home with Anne.
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
Initially, I made it because I made pulled pork sandwiches, and we had that as part of our pulled pork sandwich. And the pulled pork sandwich was actually really, really good also.
Nice.
Yeah, that would cut the richness of a pulled pork sandwich.
It did. It added a fresh layer to it that was very... That and what else is in there? I think that might have a little bit of fennel. But you can't really taste the fennel.
Don't taste that.
No, I take it back. The fennel is in something different. I made a cold kimchi, which was not spicy. That's more of pickled vegetable. And for that, I had really thinly sliced cucumber, again, some Asian apple, and shaved fennel. So
Well,
it wasn't
that
big
was
chunks
very
of it.
good.
So a little goes a long way.
Yeah, I mean, literally.
I mean, that
just
one
had
flavor
cube
is
of
all I
it.
need for a while. But
No, it's good.
I've been cooking other things, but that was the thing. I was happy turned out. I have to plan ahead of time because it takes 2 or 3 days for it to do its fermentation.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you.
that. Oh, and I finished our taxes.
Oh, thank you.
Yay, Texas.
Y'all may not think that was fun, and it's not fun, but it
Oh,
is an
it's
accomplishment.
very much
I
fun
very much
fun.
appreciate
Yeah.
the work that you do because I don't want to do it. Anne, what have you finished lately?
Okay, so I'm excited to talk about finished things.
Woohoo.
I don't have a long list, but I have a list I'm happy with.
Great.
So one of these things was directly inspired to finish by Fiberwary. I mentioned that I have made 2 stripes. Well, the second one is one that I finished.
Oh, I love that one.
I started like as soon as I finished the first one almost. It
It's
felt
my
like.
size. Thank you so
Oh,
much. Those are my
yes.
colors.
No, these are my colors. So the first stripes I finished was yarn that is supposed to be another scrapper cardi. They're all like white speckles with like white base with speckles.
Oh, yeah.
And I had them all lined up and I thought, how cool would like a subtle striping with this be? And then nearby, I had just finished my like love of my life Malabrigo Granny Square blanket. And I had like, 20 grams left, 30 grams on some colors of
It's perfect.
this rainbow of delicious Malabrigo. So that's the first one I finished, and I could not put it down, and it made me filled with joy.
This gradient.
And then I have 3 more scrapper cardies intended to be started. And this one's one that's black and blues and navies. Mm-hmm. And so I picked a plain old light blue base.
It almost has a steely blue, like a pale,
like almost gray,
kind of grayish blue.
Grayish blue.
And it
Maybe
starts
it
with
just
the
looks
blacks
that way
and the
because of all
grays,
the
and
other
then
colors.
moves into the blues. Yeah, it's a nice, subtle partner to these blue yarns, and they're all gonna now go be a scrapper cardie, which I can I had started the collar of it, so it's technically a started sweater, but I can like hardly wait to pick that one up and really get it going. So I finished my blue stripes sweater.
Very cute.
And I've worn it several times already. I have not blocked it. All the ends are woven in,
body
though.
block.
Yeah. I think that's all that happened on the other one, too, is I put it on. It fit perfectly.
Yeah,
the knitting looked
there
good.
you go.
Wear it.
That's how these Rainbow in the Storms, I'm like, I'm not blocking that.
Yeah. The first time it gets blocked will probably be because it needs a wash.
Yeah.
And the other thing I finished, I mentioned I was working on last time, Avena. And I won a whole sweater in Fiber Company Acadia.
Oh, yeah. It's
They
a good yarn.
don't make this color anymore. This color is called, I think this color was called Douglas Fir. And they don't make it anymore. And I had mixed it with a Barocco yarn that's like extremely similar texture and appearance. And I blended 2 rows of the Acadia and 1 round of the Barocco.
What a great way to extend it.
And it's I'm really happy with the blend. And I had plenty of yarn to make my sleeves.
Nice.
See you on Yarn Chicken.
Happy with it.
Have you worn it?
I have worn it. It was so cold last week.
Yeah.
And so on one of the rainy, cold days, I wore it. And what's special, if you didn't listen last time, is I had this group of all similar weight yarns, and I was going to blend them in the
color work.
like I was just going to do like the reds and green in the color work, but there was no contrast. So I instead made the gradient happen in the background of the wheat color work. And my wheat is just basic gray. And then the body transitions into this delicious blended green.
Beautiful.
It really feels good on.
Yeah. Very cozy.
Also has not been blocked. I was thinking, like, I can't wait to block this because of the color work, and I think someday it will be really transformed, but I just don't feel like doing it. Plus, it's been rainy.
It might just need a steam.
Yeah, but I want to wash it.
Yeah,
It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Even though it has only been finished for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been around.
Sure.
I think the Acadia has a little bit of a blooming that happens, but
it
it's
gets blocked.
but it's a lovely bloom.
Yeah.
Not bloom as in grow.
No, I know what you mean. Like,
yeah.
the texture will
The
change.
texture poofs.
And it'll fill up a little bit. And I'm just really happy with how it all turned out. Because also, like, I have a little bit of Arroyo in...
Is that Anniversario?
Probably Anniversario. That's what I'm usually drawn to.
Yeah.
But I didn't have enough to also do the striping in the sleeves where it matches up. And I had a ball of something else that I used earlier in the yoke.
Uh-huh.
And I think when you're wearing it, it looks great.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
even though they're
you can't really
distinctly
tell.
different colors, visually it works wonderfully.
There in the Anniversario picks up hints of the other shades that are in your background blend. And it makes total sense.
And I'm glad. Thank you for that feedback, because I was a little insecure about that part of the transition. I intellectually feel like it's necessary because I'm going like from a hard burgundy color set to a hard green color set.
Yeah.
And when I look at all the balls together, it made sense to me. But then when I knitted it up, I'm like, this looks so Holly Hobby, like scrap.
No.
But now it's grown on me.
It keeps you from having a hard block line. It softens that line, so I think it makes more sense.
Yeah, it grew on me once it was all done.
Yay.
So those are the 2 things I finished. I'm very happy that I finally finished 2 sweaters.
Nice. That's great.
That were just yokes hanging around.
Yeah, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's awesome.
Yep, I'm very, very happy.
Do we just all agree that we like this cold weather?
Of
because we
course.
finally get to wear our sweaters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm done with the rain, but I do enjoy the
It's still going to be
cool.
cold.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 60 or under for the rest of
Someone was telling me, does it sound weird that we have a warming trend of 60?
Yeah.
And all our friends back east are like, you wimpy Californians.
Well,
Whatever. We like it.
With the incoming rain, we had a very busy funeral schedule coming, and people kept calling of like, are you really going to do these funerals? Now, mind you, one of the funeral directors from the Boston area, and one of them is from Cleveland, Ohio, and the other one's from DC. Like, DC's more moderate, but they still can get snow on a pretty regular basis, as opposed to it being the insane, crazy thing of
Do
our
they not
random
have funerals
snow.
in the winter in those places?
Of course they do. And so, like, one of the funeral directors was just getting, like, irate that people were calling that the threat of rain on Friday, which it was very rainy.
Oh, these are Californians that were doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
But these three guys who, like, have lived in weather were like, give me a break. I mean, I was also, give me a break. I'm like, but I also get to stay in the office.
Yeah, you don't have to go outside. Cool. Well, anybody want to talk about what they're excited about? Anybody obsessed with anything fun? I guess I could go first since that's what we're doing. So
Yes, you could.
James and I like to watch series of movies when we don't have like a show or something. It's like we watched all the Harry Potter movies, then we watched all the Star Wars movies, then we watched all the Marvel movies, which took us a year. Maybe not that long, but forever. And so the other day we were like, you know what are a set of movies we've never watched before? Not one of us has seen any of the Fast and the Furious movies.
Oh!
And I'm like, this is not really my style, but like, let's watch it.
Yeah.
The first couple, I've seen 7 at this point, 7 of them at this point. The first couple are terrible.
Yep.
The second one especially is so bad.
Yep.
So
I
bad.
felt dumber.
Oh my god,
Like,
they're
literally
so bad.
dumber.
But then, like, the farther along you get into it, we just finished the 7th one. The 6th and the 7th were great. The 7th one was fantastic. In the sense that, like, if you want to watch something fun,
Yeah.
but also dumb and a little bit bad, but in a good way, you
Yeah.
know how it's kind of fun to watch a bad movie?
Yep.
The later of especially number 7, Furious 7 or whatever it's called, was pretty fun.
Like, it stops taking itself serious in any fashion.
Yeah, at some point, I think The Rock shows up in the 6th one. He, like, joins the cast. And it's like, current days, The Rock is very much more, like, family-friendly. You know, he's Moana.
Yeah.
He's a family man. But in these movies,
I have arrived.
Yeah.
Charming smile.
In these movies, he's doing exactly what you want, which is, like, beating people up and, like, jumping out of helicopters and stupid stuff. In the last one we watched, he's in the hospital, and he is, like, he looks out his window when Los Angeles is on fire, and he's in the hospital because he's, like, broken his arm. And he gets out of his bed, and he flexes his arm, and his cast busts off, and he's like, Daddy's gotta go to work. And he, like, jumps out the window or something. It was great. James and I have been having a great time watching these movies. And I think the 10th one is going to come out like in May. So now we're like,
soon.
okay, we got 2 more to watch before May.
Big
Very
month
excited.
for movies next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have watched 7 of the currently 9 Fast and the Furious movies. And then we're like looking forward to the next one. It's like, oh, who's in the next one? Jason Statham was in this one. I think John Cena is going to be in the next one.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's not my normal, like, cup of tea, but it has been very fun. They're very good popcorn movies.
Yeah.
And I can, like, knit while I watch because you don't have to pay that close of attention.
Nope.
Except sometimes, because they're either really simple to follow or they're very convoluted, and it's like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, why are we blowing up this building? Why are we racing these people? I don't know, but I'm going to watch it.
Because we can.
Because they have to.
Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy?
Yeah, and it's like, the joke is like, there's this international terrorist and he's the baddest guy in the world. We got to take him down. And then they do. And then the next one is like, there's an even badder one. And it's like, oh no, we got to take him down. And then the next one's like, but now it's his brother. And you're like, okay, apparently they just keep coming out of the woodwork, all these really terrible people. And the next one's even worse, than the last one. So
Family and friends. It's kind of a club.
it's,
A baddie club.
it's very fun to watch. So if you are in the mood for bad popcorn movies or good popcorn movies, however you see it, you kind of gotta... I didn't know I was going to have to pay as much attention in the first couple as I did because they like to reference themselves a lot. And I'm like, I don't remember when that happened, or I don't remember who that guy is. But you kind of got to get through a couple bad ones before you get into the good ones.
Well, you gotta like shout out to your fans a little bit.
Oh yeah,
like nod in their direction a little bit.
Yeah, lots of cameos of people that were in the other movies, and and they're also like playing with the timeline in a little bit that I'm like, I don't understand what year we're in, and it's been a little more like cerebral than I thought it would be at some points. But we've had a great time watching them. So
yeah, I would never thought of that word relating to that movie.
And most of the time it's not, but sometimes I'm like, wait, I thought that guy was dead, but he's in this movie. But no, that hasn't happened yet. That's going to happen in the next movie, which apparently takes place in the future and not
like
the past.
the MCU.
It is a little bit. Yeah, it's the Fast and the Furious extended universe. They're all very fast and very furious.
Oh, lordy.
Yeah. So that's what we've been watching.
FU.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I'm going to act on this obsession, but this is sort of what's fascinating me lately is quilted, like pieced dresses, like in
patchwork.
Yeah, patchwork dresses. Thank you. One of my favorite sewists, Joe Hassler, has posted a couple of really cute things. She put one up yesterday or in the last day or two that she took I can't think of it right now. Jelly roll scraps and did like a giant
that's cool
log cabin and then cut a very like simple shift dress out of it.
Very cool.
Oh,
and then neat. She just put one up that I've seen this other girl doing. It's the same dress pattern, but she's doing kind of like landscapes.
Oh yeah, I follow someone that makes those to sell.
Yeah, I've seen her. Yeah.
It is I just opened her thing. It looks like, I think it's Thread and Sprout.
Yes, that's who I follow.
Justice McNeil. And I've been watching her process too. Her stuff is so flippin' cute.
Yeah, there's a fashion influencer I follow that had one of her shirts, and I was like, I need one of those. I haven't bought one, but I really, really like them.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. You could, support her, but you could also make this happen.
Yes. Yeah, but they are very cool.
Yeah, I love her concepts.
That does that. It's called YourSarah_K.
Let's see.
That's her name. I'm trying to find her post, and she's done that where she has made a couple different dresses where she scrapped it. Like here's one.
Oh, that's adorable. Yeah, it's very similar, and yet it has that one has a unique voice to it for sure. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think in the same vein.
Oh yeah, because the front and back are different. The front, but
started following somebody who's like a zero waste kind of sewer.
Oh, I've seen those videos. I think it's probably the same person.
It's not Zero Waste Daniel, who I really like. This is a woman in Texas.
Yeah.
And I just had come across her post of like they stopped at a rag sailor, which is the last step before landfill or overseas shipping fabrics and unsaleable clothes that couldn't make it through the thrift stores.
Was Thread and Sprout the one that you and I were looking at before?
Yeah. And they are doing a lot of quilted coats, which I like the look of, but they're not my style.
Yeah.
Never say never, right? Because the next thing I know, my brain's going to be completely obsessed with that.
Yeah.
But I really like that idea of building a business out of that which was just going to go to waste.
Yeah.
And cool. they seem to do fast business.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I really like the jelly roll idea of doing like a big old jelly roll top.
That could be like a real fun skirt or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I've thought about doing a jelly roll tiered skirt.
Yeah.
And I should probably just execute that because I know I have that sorted out somewhere.
I was thinking about this literally earlier today where it's like I have quilt tops that I've never made into quilts, but you could easily cut up into like a coat or something.
Yeah.
Again, it's not my style really either, but I like the idea of using it in that way that it's like I don't need another quilt, but it would be cool to make like a cool tunic or like a dress or something. You know? Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. That's cool.
How cool would a quilted like coverall be?
Yeah, it'd be very cute.
So comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see it happen, Karen. Yeah, so that's my obsession. What is your obsession, Karen?
I've been watching this show. I've got a couple of obsessions, but I'm going to talk about my second obsession and save my first one for extras. I started watching that show, Not Dead Yet. It just came out.
I want to watch that. It looks right up my alley because I spend a lot of my time writing out obituary. I don't compose them. I just get them in the paper.
Well, she it's not the job she wants, but it's the job that she's becoming really good at. And
also feels like my life.
It's one of these things where she sees the dead people don't move on until she's told their story. And so people are like, it's because the obituaries become more popular because people are like, wow, it's like you really knew them. Because they got to tell her. She kind of cheated, but spoiler, she's in love with this one guy. She's like, I finally find the perfect guy, and he's dead. She bailed on her friend, and when her friend says, I thought you were on a date, and she says, yeah, but he ghosted me. It's just a fun, cute little story, and so I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
It looks cute. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it.
Cool. Well, I think that is the end of today's episode. So thank y'all for listening. Remember to check out our Patreon if you want at patreon.com/stringsunraveled. And that's where you can find bonus content and other fun stuff going on over there. And we will see you in a couple weeks for our book club episode where we will be discussing Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. That is Anne's choice of book for this month. So we will see y'all there, or if not, in the next episode. So have a good week, month, whatever. Until next time.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Strings Unraveled is a production of Strings and Things Studio with Anne Leckervin-Cazzoli, Kaity Von Rader-Fraker, and Karin Wilmoth. Recorded and edited by Kaity Von Rader-Fraker. Find us online at stringsandthingsstudio.com or on Facebook or Instagram at Strings and Things Studio. You can email us at stringsandthingsinfo@gmail.com.